What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. And sorry I'm so late, guys. That was crazy. I apologize. I had a session that just went or just finished. Apologize. SAT session, actually. 2 in a row today, right before this. All right, here we go. Let me just make sure we're going good with the audio here. And I believe, yeah, there we go. Okay. So welcome. We got 5 days left, basically, of this whole schedule, which is super exciting. This 12-day consecutive streams. I had to change the time today. I apologize. Hope you guys wasn't an issue. Thank you also for all the likes. By the way, I'm doing my best with my voice, but it is going down because I've been doing so much recording in the last 2 weeks. But I'm trying to keep it alive before Friday. I think I'm going to make it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we got, let's see who's on. We've got Kostub, Raphael, Rohan, God's Will, Ahmed, Alexis, Muhammad, Max. Watch your live stream since I do the promise to get it wrong. Show me a different, easier way. I still want to say thanks. Well, you're welcome, my friend. Nubist, what's up? From the greatest city in the world. Yeah. Okay, Kunal, Givo, hi, Leonard. Okay. Can you take my Devo Army? No, you don't need me to take it. You can do it. This is empowering you, this channel right here. Okay. So, without further ado, let's get into it because I know we're already late. So, we got the timer. We're going to set it up at 55 minutes. And we got a calculator in case I need it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, great Ediola? Ro Aquapo Io. What up? All right. Let's do this thing. Let's get ready. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Whoops, too thick. A sample of water was taken from each of 10 different locations, and upon the pH of each sample was measured. The measurements are summarized in the frequency table below. How many samples have a pH of 7.4 or greater? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom, done. Numero dos. In 2015, the city of Miami had a population of 441,000 people in an area of 36 square miles. What was the population density in people per square mile? I always say that per is like a division thing, right? So we do the amount of people divided by the amount of square miles. People per square mile. Make sure we don't make any mistakes in the typing. That looks good. Boom, done. Box and whisker plots. I keep telling you guys, these keep showing up. The Metropolitan Museum of Art has plates on display from Roman Empire and ancient Greek. Box plots. Some distribution. How does the median, that's this line here, how does the median of plates from the Roman Empire compare to the median diameter plates from ancient Greece? Boom. Greece is bigger. So G is bigger. G is bigger than R, A. Done. Just make sure I didn't make any mistakes. R is the median of, yeah, okay. Numero 4. The combustion of glucose releases energy. Ratio of grams glucose combusted to kilocalories. Energy released is 12 to 45. Ratio of grams to kilocalories. Oops. What am I doing? Grams to kilocalories is 12 to 45. How many grams of glucose must be combusted to provide 85.5? So we'll set up a ratio. 12 to 45 is X to 85.5. Cross. So we get 12 times 85.5. So it's 1,026 equals 45x. Then we divide by 45. And we get 22.8. And that makes sense, right? Should be about double. Numero 5. The function f of x is defined by this. What's the value of f of 3? The straight function notation. Plug and chug. 3 squared minus 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. Done. 6. The probability of an unfair coin landing heads side up is 0.6. A student tossed this coin into the air 9 times. It landed tail side 5 and head side 4. What is the probability that the coin will land head side up on the 10th toss? It is 0.6. You know why? Because this is independent probability. This is a very, very, very sneaky question. But these are independent events. It means that it doesn't matter that the other thing happened 5 times. It doesn't shift the probability. When we get to this next 10th one, the probability is the probability, so it's 0.6. 7. The 2 histograms show the distribution of data set A and data set B, respectively. Data set B is the result of removing the outlier from data set A. There's my outlier. Which of the following statements is true about the means? Okay, if you remove an outlier that's like really big, right? Obviously, the mean of B is going to be smaller than A. Has to be. They're definitely not the same because this is the same. You just removed an outlier. The mean of A is greater. That's it. Number 8. Let me zoom out a touch. Hammy drove a car from West Union, Minnesota through North Dakota to Miles City, Montana. Told us to travel through each state is shown on the figure. The distance D in miles Hammy drove as a function of time is this. Distance equals rate. So she's going 60 miles per hour times time. According to the model, what distance in miles had Hammy driven 3 hours after she started? Plug and chug. So 60 times the T, which is 3, equals 180. What interval represents all values of T during which Hammy drove in North Dakota? What interval? Okay, North Dakota. So this would be the first 2 hours. Does it say how many hours she drove? Wait. No, but we can tell it's 600 miles. So we know that she drove a total of 10 hours. So this would be 2, and then this would be 6 hours. So North Dakota when T equals 2 to 8. You see, because this is the second hour right here. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, like that. So 2 to 8. T is 2 to 8. Okay. The graph shows the number of algae cells grown during an experiment in millions of cells per milliliter of water D days after the start of the experiment. Between which 2 days was growth rate in millions of cells per milliliter of algae the greatest? 5 and 6 right here. Growth rate, boom. That's just the slope rate of change. 5 and 6 is the winner. Let me just make sure. 5 and 6. Okay, cool. Just making sure I'm not like crazy. 11. Hold on. My hands are like, I don't know why they're so sweaty. Okay. A local restaurant gives teachers a 20% discount on all their meals if a teacher pays $14 for a meal after the discount was applied. So you'd have a 20% discount means we pay 80% of whatever the original meal was, and then we get $14. What was the price of the meal before the discount? See, we have an equation. I don't have to think about anything. I just set up the equation, and then I isolate, and it all works out. 14 divided by 0.8 is 1750. Amount of water in 80 bottles. Fluid ounces frequency. The frequency table above shows the distribution of actual number of fluid ounces of water in a random sample of 80 20-ounce bottles of the water at a bottling plant. Bottles are only sold if they contain at least 19.8, but no more than 20.2 fluid ounces of water. So 19.8. Oh, here, and 20.2. So they have to be in that zone to be sold. If the proportion of bottles that can be sold is the same for the sample and the 16,000 bottles produced, how many of the 16,000 bottles cannot be sold? Okay. So we've got not sold and total. So here we have out of 80, only 2 could not be sold. So then we want to know how many out of 16,000 then cannot be sold. Boom, boom. 32,000 equals 80x. Divide by 80. Divide by 80. And we get 400. Boom. Done. Number 13. For the linear function f, the table shows several values of x and the corresponding values of y. Oh, another way to think about it is x and y. Right? Corresponding values of f of x, sorry, but same as y. What is the y-intercept of the graph in the xy plane? Okay. So let's see here. We've got, let's put it into point slope, I guess. Well, yeah. So the slope is 14 minus 8, which is 6, over negative 4 minus negative 2, which is negative 2. So it's a slope of negative 3. So, and then let's use, I don't know, this one for point slope. So y minus 8 equals negative 3 times x plus 2, because it's minus negative 2. That's point slope. Distribute, negative 3x minus 6 equals y minus 8. Add 8 to both sides, and we got negative 3x. 8 plus negative 6 is 2, so the y-intercept is 2, 0, 2. Boom, done. And that kind of makes sense because as this goes up by 2, this goes up by 6, down by 6, goes up by 2 again to 0, down by 6 to 2. All right. When a buffet restaurant charges $12 per meal, the number of meals it sells per day is 400. For each 50-cent increase, okay, I want to think about this for a second because these types of problems are interesting to set up. You can let me just rewind. Buffet restaurant charges $12 per meal. It sells 400 per day. For each 50-cent increase, the number of meals sold decreases by 10. Okay, that's how you set it up. So let me explain why. Because these ones, sometimes I do like kind of hesitate and, hey, there's different ways to solve it. You can kind of like plug and chug and whatever to some degree. But check it out. So X is like the increments by which we sort of like increase the price by 50 cents, right? When it's 1, it's $12.50, and now we're selling $3.90. When it's 2, it's $13. Now you're selling $3.80, so on and so forth. So it says, what is the price per meal that results in the greatest sales, aka the vertex? Okay. So now what I can do this multiple ways. I can FOIL it out, find the vertex negative b over 2a, or I can find the 2 x-intercepts. The x-intercepts here would be negative 24, and here it would be 40. Okay? Because 40 times 10 is 400. That would zero out. So that means the vertex is right in the middle of these guys, aka take the average of that. So it's basically 40 minus 24 plus negative 24 divided by 2. Is 8. So the value we need to get the vertex is 8, but they said, what is the price? So this right here represents the price, right? So if I plug 8 in, 8 times 0.5 is 4, so it's $16. And then we can quickly check that. So 16 times 320 is that. And then if it were 20, that'd be an $8 increase, which would be 16. And then here would be times 240. So you can already see the next one up, it's gone down to 4,800. So yes, it makes sense that 16 is the best. 15, the scatter plot shows a relationship between two variables, x and y. Line of best fit is shown. What is the equation of the line of best fit? All right. So first of all, I see this is my y-intercept, which is about 4. 3.7 looks good for a y-intercept. They just put it out of order. So that's the wrong y-intercept. That's the wrong y-intercept. And it's a positive slope. So 1.3, done. For the linear function, f of 2 equals 10. That means 210 is a coordinate. The graph of, for the linear function f of 2 equals 10, and the graph of the function has a slope of 3. Which of the equations defines, okay. It's got to be one of these two because it's got a slope of 3, right? Slope-intercept form. It can't be this one because 2 gives me 10. This would give me 0, 10. It's got to be this. And then you plug it in. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 4 is 10. Boom, done. Let me just make sure I didn't misread that. Yeah. Even if you plug in 2 to any of these, because it's a function notation thing, so that's why if you understand the function notation, it gets a lot easier. But if you plug in 2 for any of the other 3, you don't get 10. So yeah, there you go. What is the value of x plus 3? This is the College Board giving you a little gimme. So if we're trying to get x plus 3, all I got to do is divide both sides by 7. Divide by 7. And I get literally x plus 3 equals -2/7. Boom. 18. X plus 2y, 2x minus y. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of 3x plus y? So guess what? This is, again, them giving you a little gimme. Just combine these. Yeah, you can solve for x. You can solve for y. But look, if you notice, if you just combine these, x plus 2x is 3x. 2y plus -y is y. And add 10 and 5, and you get 15. Boom, done. If you wanted to solve for x and y, what would it be? Let me see. -2, -4, -5. -5, 15, -3. Y would be 3 and x is 4. Y is 3. No, sorry. It's a waste of time. I was trying to do it in my head. I could write it out, but it doesn't matter. Wait, let me just make sure I didn't make a mistake. 3x plus y. Yeah, okay, sure. An advertising agency guarantees that its services will increase traffic by 3.5% compared to each previous week, which will increase traffic by 3.5% each previous week, which is the function. Okay, so this is increasing, obviously. And the reason why it's exponential, if they said 3.5% compared to the initial week, okay, then that's linear because it's the same value every time. But 3.5% compared to each previous week, that means, if the first week is 100, the second week would be 103.5. The third week would be 3.5% of this added on, whatever that be. So let's pretend it would be like 107 point. It would be something like that. So you can see the increments by which it's increasing is going up. That's exponential, not linear. It's not going up at a constant rate. The scatter plot shows a data set of 11 points and a line of best fit. How many data points is the y value predicted by the line of best fit greater than the actual y value? So predicted is greater. So we got to find basically every point below the line of best fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. So A is the winner. Dana is riding in a 100-mile-long bicycle race. The function f, defined by f of x, this models the number of miles that Dana has remaining x hours after she starts the race. Okay, hold on. Let me think for a second. So it starts at 100 and has remaining number of miles that Dana has remaining x hours. Okay, so like after 1 hour, she has 82 miles left. After 2 hours, she has 64, etc. What is the best interpretation of f of 2 equals 64? Oh, and that's it. That means that at 2 hours, she has 64 miles left. Nope. Yep. Just like we said. 22. The triangle A, B, and C and D, E, F have an angle measuring 29 and 54. These are also equal. That's angle, similarity. Which of the following statements is sufficient to prove triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF? All we need is a side. Any side, yeah, this one. BC is equal to EF. Excuse me, BC, because then we get angle, side, angle. This doesn't help. 10, so what? The measure of angle 90, that doesn't help because we already know they're 97. We already know BAC and EDF are equal. How many solutions does this have? None. Okay, why? Because absolute value cannot equal -4. Everything that comes out of absolute value is positive. So -3, -11, that would give me +4, not -4. So there's nothing. Okay, wait, let me make sure I circled the right one. Yeah. The solutions to the quadratic equation above are A and B. What is the value of A plus B? Oh, yeah. What's my shortcut? -B over A gives me the sum of the solutions. So it's A, B, C. -B, which is, it's the coefficient there, over A is 3. -1/3, boom, done. But if you do want to factor and do it old school, I always like to show it both ways in case you forget the negative b over a. Because you might be like, is it negative b over a or negative b over 2a? That stuff happens to me all the time. You can factor it. And it factors to this. So 3x squared, 3x negative 2x gives you the x and then minus 2. So my solutions are negative 1 and 2/3. So 2/3 plus negative 1 is negative 1/3. 25. In the figure shown, point O is the center of the circle. One vertex of the square lies in the circle, and the opposite vertex is point O, which is the center. Okay, if the area of the shaded region... So this is telling me that the area of the circle is probably 36 pi. Yeah, because 36 pi minus 18, the area of the square is 18 probably. So that's what the shaded region is. And I already know that if that's the case, I know that the diagonal is 6 because that's the radius. It doesn't even matter. I don't even need that, but the sides are the sides are just the square root of 18. So I don't even need the 6 radius. Square root of 18 is 9 to 3 radical 2. So 3 radical 2, 3 radical 2. So the perimeter of the square is 4 times that, which is 12 root 2. Done. Let me just make sure. Perimeter of square. 3 root 2, 3 root 2, 9. Yeah, that's correct. Which of the following is equivalent to this? All right, let's do a little factory. Yeah, we can factor that. Okay. So first we get x squared minus 4 times x squared minus 4. It's a perfect square. Because then they get x to the 4th minus 8x squared plus 16. And then this is also can be rewritten as x squared minus 4 squared. It's the same thing. So it's equivalent to 2. It's also equivalent to 1. I'm going to show you why. So this also becomes x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 2. So then we add 2 of those and 2 of those, and that's how they get x plus 2 squared, x minus 2 squared. So it is both. Yeah. Each year, the value of an investment increases by 2.5% of the previous year's value. Okay. Out, that's a decrease because it's less than 1. The initial value of the investment was 500. They all have the right initial value. Which equation gives the value of the investment y in dollars x years after the initial investment. So each year. So it's basically 1 plus 2.5% as a decimal equivalent, which is like this. So that's why B is the answer. This would be a 25% increase every year. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any details. Yeah. And this would be a 150% increase every year. Okay, 28. How many solutions does a given system of equations have? Let's just solve it. So I'm going to multiply the top by 12. And then we get 60x minus 12y equals 108. And then the bottom one, ooh, look at this. It looks like they're the same line. So it's probably infinite. Yeah, because when we add them together, you get 0 equals 0, which means it's infinite. But the other way to know this is if I multiply the top by negative 12, I literally get negative 60x plus 12y equals negative 108. So they're the exact same line. They intersect everywhere. So it's infinite. Bridges have spaces between their sections to allow for expansion and contraction caused by temperature variation. The space is known as the gap width. Okay. The size of the gap width is a linear function for t. Okay. For a certain bridge, the gap width is 2 point at 40. So when it's 40, it's 2.875 because the width is the y value, not that. And 1.875 when it's 100. Which of the following defines the relationship between okay. It's basically point slope is what they did more or less. So let's first calculate the slope. Let's subtract down. So I get that minus that is 1 over negative 60. So slope is negative 1 over 60. Out. And then this is like, wait. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. 40 degrees and 100 degrees. Oh, yeah. It's A. I was just going to say, because here's what they did. They basically plug its point slope with this coordinate, and it's got to be positive here, because if you put it back into point slope, it'd basically be WT minus 2.875, which would be a positive 2.875, right? So it's 40 and 2.875. That's this. This is the wrong sign. So that's it. And I could have also just plugged in like 40. Oh, I get 2.875. Here I get 40. Here, actually, this doesn't make any sense. Here, you plug in 40, you'll get something. I don't even know what you get. You'll get some negative number. Okay, 30. The number of books in the library increased by 30%. 30%. Okay, there were X books in the library in 2002. So then it increased by 30% means it's 1.3x in 2004. And this is literally it. Which expression represents the number of books in the library in terms of X in 2014? Yeah, so it's 1.3x. Okay, so why is that? Well, think about it like this. It increased by 30%. So what is 30% of X? It's 0.3x. But then you got to add it to the original, because this is the total amount of books. So what's X plus 0.3x? Really, it's 1. So it becomes 1.3x. Boom, done. All right, we zone the free response. Whoops, okay. Let's see, what's the zoom? 185. Let's zoom out. It's glitching a little bit. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Okay, this is like crazy. Totally glitching. I shouldn't have zoomed out. Sorry, guys. There we go. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I'm losing time. We got so much excess time, though, so we're cool. Okay. All right, in the survey of 250 television viewers, 3/5 indicated that they like comedies. Hold on. Some indicated that they do not like comedies, and the rest did not respond. Okay. If one of the 240 viewers is selected at random, the probability is 1/15 that they did not respond. No response. How many of the two do not like no comedies? Okay, so let's get common denominators. That is 12/15, right? 9/15, excuse me. 10/15, so 5/15, so it's 1/3. So 1/3 of the 240 do not like comedies, and 1/3 of 240 is 80. Let me just make sure that's right. 9/15, 5/15, 1/3. Yeah. Okay, cool. 32. What is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept of this? Okay, y-intercept is when x equals 0, so plug and chug. Now, what is 3 to the 0th power? It is 1, not 0. 1. What's 1 plus 9? 10. Done. Anything to the 0th power is 1. 33. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, where A corresponds with D. That means those guys correspond. What is the value of cosine of F is the same as cosine of C because they correspond. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. 24 over 30. Divide both by 6, and you get 4 over 5. Let me just make sure. Cosine of f. Adjacent over hypotenuse, yeah. Okay, 34, sorry. Geothermal. The graph shows the power capacity for 9 countries that had the greatest geothermal power capacity in 2010. What was the capacity in megawatts of the country that had the median capacity? Okay, this is how I do median. So I'm going to start to rank. I'm not going to rewrite them. I'm going to rank them. So that's numero uno. Wait, how do I do this? Let's do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. What is the median? 863. The middle value, that is the middle of 9, right? It's 5. Let me just make sure one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That's it. Middle of 9 is 5 because you got 4 values on either side. 35. Line L showing the XY plane point, and the point with coordinates 2C is on line L. What is the value of C? Well, this is where the X value is 2. Right there. It looks to me like 2.5, but let's double check. We got 2 coordinates here. That's going to be better. So we've got 0, 4, and we've got 5, 0. Subtract down to get the slope. We get 4 over negative 5 with the y-intercept of 4. So it is y equals negative 4/5 x plus 4. Plug in 2. So we get, negative 8 over 5 plus 4. I think I would have been wrong here. This becomes times 5 is 20 over 5. That's what 4 is. Add them up. I was wrong. It's 2.4. 12/5, which is, or 2.4. Either, they'll accept either. Let's just go with 12/5. See, that's dangerous, right? Be super tempting to be like, oh, it's, 2.5, but it is 35, so it can be a little trickier usually. So you want to double check that. Let me just make sure. Negative 4/5. So 2. So we go down 2, and you'd go across 2.5. Now that doesn't help, but let me just make sure I had the slope right. Negative 4/5 plus 4, and then, well, this is a calculator. I could use a calculator just to be safe. So 0.8 times 2, and then minus 4 base. I'm just flipping it. So yeah, it's 2.4. All right, cool. 36 and 37. Table gives a typical adult weight ranges and lifespans for African and Asian elephants. Typical minimum weight, maximum weight, lifespan. So African elephants live longer, and they're bigger. What is the typical minimum weight of an adult African elephant in the wild in pounds? Typical minimum. Adult African elephant. Okay. So in pounds. So we know that it's 2.5 tons, and I want to convert it to pounds. So what we do is we say 1 ton, which they told us here, equals 2,000 pounds. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Oh my God. Totally blew this one. Sorry. 2.5 tons. I put it over 1. Equals tons on the bottom, pounds on the top, because we want them to flip so they cancel out. So we know that 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Cancel. Now we're into pounds. So 2.5 times 2,000 is 5,000 pounds. Double check. Boom. Didn't really need to do that, but hey, why not? Let me just make sure I read everything right. Is based on the table. What is the typical minimum weight of an African elephant in pounds? Yep, got it. Based on the table, the typical lifespan of the African elephant in the wild. Typical lifespan of the African elephant which is 70, is P% greater than the typical lifespan of the Asian elephant in the wild. Okay, I did not set this up the right way, but it's okay because using this is going to be faster, and I'm going to show you how to solve for this. So they said it's P% greater. This is not P% greater. This is 70 is P% of 60. But it's all going to make sense. So we're going to isolate 60, 60. And by the way, this should be over 100. I'm going to ignore that because you're going to be able to interpret it correctly anyways when you see what I'm doing here. 70 divided by 60 is 100. And basically, if we round it up, did it say round? What? Row. I hate it when you have to round and it doesn't say to round. Well, anyways, this means it's 117% of that, which means it's 17% greater. One second. Let me just make sure I read that right. 70, 60. So the lifespan is 70 to 60. So based on the table, typical lifespan of African is P% greater than the typical lifespan of the Asian. It's in the wild, right? Yeah. The typical lifespan of an African elephant in the wild is P% greater than the typical lifespan. So it could be 17. It could also be 16.7 if they're taking the nearest, if they're rounding to the nearest 10. So I guess I'm going to go with 17. But yeah, I don't know. That's annoying. I feel like they should say to round, especially in that. I'm trying to think, did I do anything wrong here? Because it's P% greater. It should be 10 out of 60, which is 1/6. Okay. I don't like that problem, but we'll double check it at the end. The table shows several values of x and the corresponding values of f of x. The function f is defined by, okay, so it's linear. What does the value be? They want the y-intercept. Okay. I could get there a couple different ways. I think the easiest way is just to see that the y-intercept is when x equals 0. So you can see that every time it drops by 1, it's dropping on the y value by, let's see, 45, I think. And then, yeah, 45 again. Wait, 6, 5. Yeah. So then when it's 1, it drops by 45 again. That's 101.61. And it drops to 0. It's 16. Okay. But I think we have a ton of time left, so I'll show you a different way. We can also just calculate the slope, which we just did, but it's subtract down negative 45 over negative 1, so it's a slope of 45, and then we can do y minus 106 equals 45 times x minus 2, point slope, distribute. 45x minus 90 equals y minus 106, add 106, add 106, y equals 45x plus 16, so 16 is the y-intercept. Okay, we got 18 minutes left, but I'm just going to go ahead and check the answers. The only one I'm a little weird about is 37. Hold on, let me just think one more time. I'll keep the timer running while I think. Typical lifespan of an African elephant is P% greater than the typical lifespan of an Asian elephant in the wild. Yeah, it's 1/6 greater. Am I crazy? Okay, I don't know. Let's go with that and let's see what we got here. Okay, so we got at the beginning. Oh man, it's really glitching on Miro, huh? I normally love this whiteboard, but it does seem to do this sometimes. Okay. Come on, buddy. Oh, man, come on. What's happening? We need to go faster, people. Bear with me, guys. Oh, look at that. 37. So I just looked ahead, by the way. They did want 16.7. So that was that other answer that I put. I don't know. I kind of chose 17, so technically I'd say it was wrong. But I don't understand how they could not say round to the nearest tenth or something. And they're just sort of expecting you to do it. See, this is a safer thing to enter the fraction. I should have done that. I should have entered 50/3. But, okay. Yeah. Okay. Actually, but erring on the side of caution, 16.7%. 16.7 would have been a safer answer. I thought maybe they'd say 16.7 and 17 would be okay. All right, here we go. DBAC. DBAC. DB. Oh, come on. DB. Yikes. Oh my God. Miro, you're killing me. You're killing me. Okay. Correct. 5 is CCBD. C. Oh boy. B. This is so bad. I really need to contact them. This is really bad. Okay. And that looks like an X. 8 is correct. Hold on. There's got to be a way I can fix this. Maybe let me reload this. Let's try this. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Come on, buddy. Okay. Not an X. Let's mark that correctly. Oh my God. Okay, 9 is BB, B, C, B, and C. What is happening? How do I do this? I apologize, guys. I'm seeing what's CPR. It's so slow. This is crazy. All right. Pretty sure I got all these right anyways, but 13 is CAAD. I'm not going to mark it. CAAD, correct. 17 is D, correct. 18 is D, 19 AA. Yep. 21 is DC. Good. 23 is ABCC. ABCC. Good. 27 is B. 28 is D. 29 is A and C for the win. Okay. And then let's see if I remember that was 80. Let's see if we can get there without it going crazy. Okay, here we go. 31 is 80, and then we had 10, and then we had 4/5. We had 863. Oh, come on, bro. I remember 2.4. I remember 5,000. We talked about the 16.7. I think I did get, I got 16 for the end. So there you go. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here what the comments are. And thank you for all the likes. I really appreciate it. Oh, my God. Oh, CPR. I got you. I thought it was like some computer term. Okay, guys, I forgot to mention this. Our SAT course is finally live, and I want to show you here. One second. It's finally live, and it's just in beta, right? So I wanted to give you guys the link here and let everybody know that it's finally live. We've been working on this for so long. We've crafted the questions very carefully. There's going to be video explanations for each and every problem. So it's going to be sick. And eventually there's going to be like 9 practice tests. But right now we just got the first one up. So the reason why I wanted to share this with you guys is because you guys have been super loyal. And before we kind of like do a bigger release, I wanted to offer it to you guys for a really, really discounted rate. So what it's going to be is it's eventually going to be $30. We'll probably keep might raise it a little bit, but $30 a month on a monthly subscription. And one second, let me just find the email that I'm looking for, and then I can post it. And it'll be something like that. But right now, I wanted to give it to you guys for just $5 a month for the first 2 months. And if you can sign up, I'm going to give you this code. Here we go. One second. I just got to find. Where is my... nope, that's that. Okay, here, let me just do sent, and I think I sent it from here. Nope. I'll find it. One second. Here it is, found it. Okay, let me post the link. scalar.thinkific.com/courses/scalar. You're going to love the name. Learning/S. Learnings. SAT. Math. Super awesome course for legends. Boom. Okay. So there it is. Let me just make sure this works as well. Okay, so check it out. You go here, and this is the course. Now, if you're going to sign up, this is the code I want you to use so you get the discount. It's early adopter, okay? So you type that in the code, and when you get this course, whatever, it'll only be $5 a month for the first 2 months. Then you can cancel. I don't care, whatever you do. You guys are all my people. You guys have been supporting me for so long and come to the live stream. So happy to do it for this price. And take the practice test. We're going to try and get the next 2 uploaded by the end of the week. So you'll have 3 really amazing fresh practice tests, all the video explanations and all that stuff. This course is going to be so sick when it's done. I already think even just this one practice test I feel like is really beneficial because of the nice question by question explanation section we have. And like I said, we worked really hard on making the problems very, very on point in terms of them being like the College Board stuff. So at least check it out and see if see what you think. And of course, if you just want to keep watching the streams and don't want to get it, no worries at all. But I want to tell everybody here, you guys are the first people that I'm letting know. It's kind of like a beta test, beta launch, if you will. So thank you guys so much. We're going to keep going live streams tomorrow all the way through Friday. So thank you, Muhammad. You're very welcome. Awesome. Hey, what's up, Robert? Kunal. Is it worth it? Only 5 days to my SAT. Well, you'll get that one practice test. It's $5. So you can basically pay $5 and access the practice test. But if you feel like you have other practice tests that you want to take that you already have with you, I mean, it's kind of up to you. So, but that's what it'll be. And we're going to get the other 2 up. So actually probably be like 3 practice tests by the time the week ends, fingers crossed. So yeah, I think it's still going to be really valuable, but again, it depends on what still you have left to take and whatnot, what resources you have. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.